Hello, I'm Chastity Downing, and welcome to Literocity. Each year, we give our middle school students an opportunity to explore the many aspects of literature through our Student Literacy Conference. This year, it's being held right here at Osceola Middle School. More than 40 students representing 20 different middle schools are here for the event. We start the day with a 3-station rotation featuring a graffiti wall where students write about their own literary preferences. Then, the students move to a Wordle exercise where they construct a Wordle of their own using their favorite words from literature.
The Sparks is the first book in a trilogy.
And finally, a meet and greet book signing with the featured guest of the day, author Kyle Prue.
Hi, how's it going? Do you want to sign up for you? It's kind of like more of a guided process more than it is an active process.
Kyle is a first-year college student who has already published a nationally acclaimed children's fiction novel, The Sparks. It was the winner of the Florida Authors and Publishers Association Gold and Silver Seal President's Award.
He ever sighed and laced his fingers together. You're lying to me, Novapros, but I forgive you.
Kyle was caught at an early age to indulge his imagination in creating a fantasy world of a family with superpowers and inner struggles. Ironically, it was after reading Tom Sawyer that Kyle was inspired to write the book that he wanted to read.
Try not to make any more mistakes, Neil.
Being with my brother and sister for a whole summer and having nothing to distract me because my parents had taken away all the technology. The 3-sibling dynamic inspired the 3-family dynamic in the Sparks for the Family Feud, and after I started writing a good amount of the time, other stuff started to develop.
I know you said you spoke to many students over the past couple of years.
Right.
What inspires you to come back and talk to students in the middle and high schools?
Right, yeah. I just believe in the power of young people. I believe in the power of young people being inspired. One of the big points of the Sparks is about how the younger generation has the ability to change things. And I'm just always excited to see kids, reach their potential.
If you could give one piece of advice to an aspiring writer who is a middle schooler, what would it be?
It would be read all the time. Read whenever you get a chance, and don't just read one thing, read everything. Read comic books, read real books, read teen books, read grown-up books, read everything, read magazines, because the more you read, the more you start to develop your own voice.
Maybe the most important life skill is being able to read and being able to write.
And Kyle doesn't forget about where he came from. Soon after the success of The Sparks, he established an educational foundation starting in his hometown of Naples, Florida, to help inspire middle school students to read. Could you tell us a little bit about your foundation and what inspired you to create this foundation?
Yeah, I did a school in Naples, Florida, and I did 3 classes of at-risk 8th graders, and this was before I had a foundation, but we donated all the books because we really wanted them to get a chance to read. And a lot of kids who had never read a full book before were emailing saying, I've read the book 3 or 4 times, I need more books. And so I started trying to partner with literacy organizations, but I found out that most literacy organizations are aimed at elementary schoolers, and they don't focus on middle schoolers or high schoolers, and they kind of have this kind of philosophy of it's too late by then. But I have seen that that's not true everywhere I go, that there are some middle schoolers who just need a little bit of an extra push. So I started partnering with organizations to donate books everywhere I went, and then I started picking up other authors and picking up music programs, and over time we developed a board, fundraisers, groups, and now we are where we are today. We've given away, I don't want to get it wrong, but over 10,000 books, I think, so far. Yeah. Here you go. Thank you. You're up. How's it going? I think in middle school it's a time where you don't exactly know who you are yet, and for me it was a very, very confusing time, but I knew that I loved reading and I knew that I loved writing, and I think it's the time where people are unsure, but at the same time they do still remember what makes them tick, and people aren't ashamed in middle school to be very passionate about something. So that's what makes it, I think, just a really great group of people to talk to.
Brilliance. Ain't got no time for all this killing to see life. Life is about resilience.
Another part of the Student Literacy Conference is a spoken word poetry session led by a local poet, Liz Prisley, who uses poetry to promote literacy and self-expression.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that self-expression is really important. Sometimes we have emotions that we don't know how to work through or how to express, and sometimes writing it down and performing it helps you have conversations about your emotions and figure out what you're feeling.
So the next thing I want you to write down. So take a minute to write that down. If anger were a smell,
What would you say to aspiring poets?
Read a lot and write a lot and share your work every opportunity that you have, and know that when you're called to write something, it's because someone needs to hear it.
Both authors stress the importance of self-expression while writing, and that resonates strongly with both the students and the educators. What would you like your students to walk away with everything they've seen today?
I think my students already have walked away with an extra incentive to write more and to read more and to feel good about what they're doing already, that they have some skills that I don't think they get to see that they have in everyday school life.
Why do you think having literacy conferences like this are important for our middle schoolers?
I think it's really important for the middle school kids to see this, because a lot of times the stuff is focused for our high school kids getting ready to go to college, so they don't get these opportunities. And I think it's been really great for them to meet younger people writing as well.
So we had novels today that were donated. How are you going to use those in your classroom?
Well, the girls and I have already spoke that we're going to do this in our reading class in small group, and we're going to kind of spread out and do some activities with it when we get back to school.
And we're so excited because at the conference today, we're learning how to first start with our administrators and get that written into the master schedule so we can get students on board. And really, it's about empowering the kids and getting them ready to take leadership with this literacy team. Well, I think they showed, look how easy it is. You know, you just be yourself and be real and true to who you are, and just about inspiring others to do the same and make the world a better place.
I would talk to some of my friends about it, and I'll talk to my teachers, and I will share some of the skills that we learn. For instance, the 3 rules in making characters, and I will try to implement it in some of my teachers' assignments that they assign. I am an aspiring writer. Actually, right now I'm writing a book, and yes, I am an avid reader. Earlier, so I was reading this book about Steve Jobs. He's like my hero.
next your dog. What kind of dog?
We're so glad the students were so excited today about literacy. We can't wait to see how they go back to their schools and promote literacy in their own settings. Literocity rolls on in a moment.